Alright, we're going to look quickly at CSS, which is the style sheet, and how to link that into your brackets website and get it up and going. So right now you have your starter website. The folder looks something like this. You have Scratch folder where you have your Scratch projects. You probably even have a web development folder. Then you have this styles folder, which is empty. And that's what we're going to build on today. So you're going to open up that folder in brackets. And so you should see the same folder structure here in brackets that you had on your H drive. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in some styles. So to do that, there's a couple of ways we can do it. One is to directly embed a style tag. So this is where you say style equals, and then in quotes, and we could say color red, and then close it. And then if we save that and look at our live preview, it takes a second for it to load. We'll see what happens with that paragraph that we put in. While that's loading, we can think about why that's not going to be a great idea for all of this. Let's say that we have 500 paragraphs and we then want to change it from the color being red to the color being blue. We have to then go back and change that 500 times, and that's not going to be so great. So let's see what shows up here. Okay, so it finally loaded here, and we can see actually that nothing showed up red. And so let's go back and think about what happened there. I have this paragraph tag, and then I have an href, and all of this is within that a tag. So hopefully if I put some more text in the paragraph, that shows up as red. Let me save it and then go back and refresh it, and there we go. So that's one way to style our sheets, but that's probably the worst way, because again, we have to put this in here every time. If we get it wrong once, we have to go back and fix it all those different times. So what we're going to look at for the most part is using styles in the style sheet. So if we open up our browser again and we go to example.com, that is a good source for our styles. And so if we right click and we view page source, and then we grab just this part, I just want this style part. So I'm going to grab this and copy it and then bring it back into brackets. And then let's note where it was in that source code. So it was right before the body, all in the head. So that's where I'm going to put it in my website. So I'll go back to brackets and then all in the head, right before the body, and put it in there, and then I can see that I have these style tags in here. Okay, so this is pure CSS. What this is going to do is it's going to take a body tag, it's going to do something to it, it's going to take a div and do something to it, it's going to take my links, and so I'm going to go ahead. I have these already in a div, so that should hopefully show up the way I want it to. And let me do this, let me save it, and let's see what happens to our website when we refresh it. And there's my website, and there we go. We can see right off the bat it looks a lot nicer. This is within this div. We have everything kind of the right way, and then if we want to change it, right, we just have to change it in one spot. So let's say I want my paragraphs to be red again, so I would just put in the selector, which is paragraph, and then the braces, and then I don't have to put any quotes. I just do color red, semicolon ends it, save it there, and then if I put in a paragraph, so if I look at my text now and refresh it, there's all the paragraphs get to be read. Okay, and we'll talk about, you'll see in Code Academy how you can put IDs and classes to not grab all the paragraphs, but it's a really powerful way to do it. Okay, so this is better but not the best. So I have it in this, but I have to put this in every web page that I have, and if I change it in one website, one web page, I have to change it in all of them. So what we're actually going to do is take all of this and we're going to cut it, and we're going to make a new file. I'm going to paste it, and I actually want to get rid of the style tags. There's not going to be any HTML in here. It's just going to be CSS. So I'm going to save it as and I'm going to go into my style sheet, and I'm going to call this style1.css, and that's going to be my style sheet. So it should be in here, and there it is. So now what I need to do is I can change anything that I want in my style sheet and then just apply it to my website. So where I'm going to add that is I'm going to take in my index file, because that's the first one I have right here, I'm going to put in a link. So I'm going to link it to the style sheet that I have. So here's how I begin that link. I say in the head link rel equals style sheet, and you can see brackets is trying to help me out. Type equals text CSS, and then I need to tell it where to find it. Equals, okay, so I'm going to be in the styles folder, but it's at that top level, so I'm going to actually put a /styles so in the styles folder, and I need to figure out what it was called, and I called it style1, and you can see it's down here. It's trying to tell me that that's what should go in there, and that's what I want. And then this link tag, the HTML just closes itself, and I don't know why I got a list in there. And then I'm going to save it, and what we're going to hope is that nothing looks any different when we load our page again. So let's go back to our website and load it, and we broke it. So we need to figure out how we got this wrong here. Let's go back and look at our RTS. So it should have been exactly the same. We're just linking the style sheet. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so I paused the video for a second and looked, and what was happening was we had a cached version in our browser. Everything worked as we wanted it to, but the browser hadn't updated automatically. So we have our website looks like this, and then here's our brackets. Let's see if we can make this kind of side by side here and see what's going on. But we have, and now it's linked to a style sheet, and we can do that with any of our pages. So let's say that I have my Scratch assignments, and so I look in Scratch Lab 1, and I can do the same thing. I can say link rel equals style sheet, and then type equals text /CSS, and then href equals styles. Sorry, let me just start up a styles. So this /style1, and then close it, and then I can go ahead and try to save it. I'm going to put all of this in a div, so otherwise we won't see very well what happened here. And then the end of the div is going to go down here. Okay, and so if we look at this now, right, that has the same style sheet attached to it, so it looks really nice. Everything looks consistent. And then the beauty of it is that if we change, let's say down the road, I don't like the background color being what it was. So if I look at my body background color, let's say it doesn't, I don't want that gray, I want it to be black. And then I change it, and everything automatically updates. So this will update. I can change the whole look of my website really quickly. And if we go back to anything that's linked with it, so let's say we go back to the index, right? That's now changed as well. So that's going to be your best bet. You have one style sheet, and you just put the link at the top, and you change whatever you want. There's a ton that you can do with CSS. You can really make your website start to look professional. Down the road, we will add a navigation bar at the top, but right now just play around with the pieces, use the example.com starter code to get you going, and then we'll go from there.